Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever, wherever you're watching this. I am the CHALL, and today, Chall Chats Doncaster Rovers and the latest DRFC daily reports bring you the latest news from Doncaster Rovers Football Club. In today's video, we're going to go over the two teams already confirmed for the Bristol Street Motors Trophy group in a bit in detail about each team, as well as discussing which under-21s team is available to go into our group in the draw on Thursday, as well as who I would like to see go into our group on Thursday in the draw. We'll also talk about Deji Sotona. He is off to National League Eastleigh. So before we get started, make sure you do like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss another YouTube video. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers and 500,000 views. Let's get there as soon as possible, please. Got some very exciting content ideas coming up over the season, so very, very excited to do that. We also got a Doncaster Rovers themed Euros video, so stay tuned for that this week. And for now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get straight into this video, and let's first of all talk about the Bristol Street Motors Trophy. So the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, also traditionally known as the EFL Trophy, of course known as Bristol Street Motors Trophy due to the sponsorship agreement, they have announced the groups for the teams in League 1 and 2 as to which three teams are going to be together in each group. And of course, there'll be a spot open for an under-21s team. Of course, that rule still implies this season. So let's analyse the two teams that we've got in our group in the north. So the first team is Barnsley. The Tykes have made the choice to appoint Cheltenham Town manager and former multiple promotion winner Darryl Clark to take Barnsley back to the Championship, and they've made some significant signings towards reaching that goal. The return of Conor Hourihane is exceptional business and provides the club with an experienced central midfielder from promoted Derby County. But there's no doubt in the minds of the Tykes fans they will need a proven goal scorer or some kind of goal scorer to replace the goals scored by the released attacker Devante Cole and returning loanee John McAtee. The Bristol Street Motors Trophy is also known for giving debuts to young talent, and one particular player in the Barnsley setup, Fabio Giallo, should feature a lot more during the campaign, as the talented winger is an exceptionally technically gifted player out wide and a real future star in the making at Oakwell. I'm sure some under-21s players and under-18s players could potentially feature on the benches of these Bristol Street Motors Trophy squads. The second team is Huddersfield Town, recently relegated. Another ex-championship club has also entered our group as a new manager is appointed, and it's actually the ex-Barnsley head coach Michael Duff who's been chosen to try and stabilise the Terriers and take them back to the Championship. The signing of Lincoln star wing-back and midfielder Lasse Sorensen is a key piece to the puzzle, but then the jigsaw was disrupted by the departure of Jack Rudoni as he left Yorkshire for the West Midlands, joining Coventry City. Young players swarm the Terriers squad though for potential trophy appearances this season, as right back the right back Bradley Spencer is the pick of the bunch. If Duff doesn't loan out midfielder Josh Osterfield, striker Patrick Jones, and former Ipswich Tyrese Simpson, they could also feature in this competition too. But then there's the question, what about the under-21s teams? Well, the 8 teams eligible to feature in our group in Thursday's draw are Aston Villa, Everton, Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, Newcastle United, Nottingham Forest, and Wolverhampton Wanderers. So the way the groups are formatted is very, very simple. We have one away game and 2 home games. The under-21s opponent is absolutely 100% guaranteed a home game. That is a guaranteed home game. It'll be one of the 2 other teams, the 2 league teams, that will be an away game. So either we're going to Oakwell or we're going to the John Smith Stadium. Me personally, I'd much prefer Oakwell because it'd save a lot on travel. But in all seriousness, it'd be nice to tick off Huddersfield's ground. Obviously, we're not going to face him in League One next season, this coming up season. But unfortunately, I much prefer John Smith Stadium because I think we've got a much more if we're going to go up this year, I think it'd be a much more likely chance to face Barnsley next season than Huddersfield. I think Barnsley need another season just to stabilise and try and challenge the following campaign. In my personal opinion, they still need a proven goal scorer. They're still lacking in goal scorers, and I feel like they need that to move forward. So when you digest it, when you look at the whole situation, I'd much prefer an away trip to Huddersfield to tick off the stadium. But in terms of financially, I would much prefer Oakwell. But we shall see. Now, in terms of the under-21s team that I would like in the group, It's a tough one, because there's a few teams in there that have some great players. Aston Villa's got Sebra Van, got Tommy O'Reilly. Um, they've got some good players in there. Man City's got some great players overall. I think United's academy is always spot on. Liverpool have got some great young players. Lewis Kumas for Liverpool looks incredible. I think he's the son of Jason Kumas, so again, no surprise there. His dad was a brilliant player. So for me, it's an interesting one. If I had the choice, personally, I would personally, I would love Liverpool's youth academy. And the reason why I go with Liverpool's youth academy is because they've got some great young players in there, and I think there's more, there's a bit more traction with Liverpool's academy than there is with other ones. So, personally, I'd love to get one over on Liverpool. Do what we kind of couldn't. Well, do what we did against Everton. I mean, to be fair, we had Everton in a stage last season, I believe, with their under 21s in the group. So I would like to get the other Merseyside club now. I'd like us to have a go at the other Merseyside club. We'll just see what happens, but we'll probably do a deep dive on the 21s team that we do get in a video. Obviously, that draw will happen on Thursday. The fixtures for this group stage will commence in September, so that competition will begin a month after the season starts. So that should be interesting. Obviously, the season itself, the actual league season itself, starts on the 10th, 11th of August. That whole kind of weekend. So you're looking at probably the 10th of August for us. So I think the 10th of August is Saturday. I could be wrong. If not, it's the 11th. So that's what we're looking at for the season starting. Of course, a month later it'll be the start of the Bristol Street Motors Trophy. It's a bit weird not saying Papa John's Trophy or Johnston Paint Trophy or anything like that. So we shall see. But let's get into the second and final story of this episode, and that is Deji Sotona off to Eastleigh. So we knew as Rovers fans that the winger Deji Sotona had been transfer listed, and it's now confirmed that he will be joining National League Eastleigh for an undisclosed fee. Now, people may be confused about why it's an undisclosed fee. Obviously, we have transfer listed him. However, he did, as far as I'm aware, have a year left in his contract by now. So I think Eastleigh will have paid the compensation to terminate his contract early, and that is counted towards an undisclosed fee. Undisclosed meaning, it's not public, and there's a reason why it's not public, because I think they've paid the compensation fee personally to terminate his contract a year early. So that is why I think it's an undisclosed fee. A little bit about Deji Sotona for you, for those of you who don't know, and for those Eastleigh fans watching. He spent the second half of the 23-24 season on loan at Boston United, helping them on their way to earn promotion to the National League. And he said on the move, "It feels good. I'm delighted to finally get it over the line and start working." So for those of you who are Eastleigh fans, let me give you a bit of insight as to what you're getting with Deji Sotona. We're getting a very, very pacey, energetic, driven player on the channels. You're getting a very quick player. You're getting a very direct, dangerous winger. Defensively, I personally think he's been a bit sluggish defensively. I think that other people have said the same. I won't go so far as lazy. I won't be. Be negative and call it lazy. I would just call it a bit sluggish in the defensive duties. I'd say he's very much an attacking player. He's not a defensive player at all. I do remember, I think, a couple of games during the first half of the campaign, we were struggling for bodies where we had to play him as a wing back, and the defensive duties were non-existent. If that's being perfectly brutally honest, the defensive duties were non-existent, and he had the attack mind for a wing back, but he didn't have the defensive mind. And as a wing back, you've got to have both. So if you're going to play him either side of the wings. Do not play him as a wing back. Do not play him as an attacking midfield. Do not play him as a striker. Play him as a winger. Play him as an out-and-out winger. Left or right, doesn't matter. I don't care. Play him as a winger. That is where you're going to see the best of him. And I think that Boston, yes, he didn't feature a lot of starts for Boston during that loan spell. However, he still featured quite a bit, and he still got some goals for Boston. So for me, I think that he is a good player. There is definitely a good player in there. Don't get me wrong. I think Eastleigh have the potential to unlock that player in him. I think they tried with Aidan Barlow. It didn't work consistently enough. Same with us. It didn't work consistently enough. There was a player in there with Aidan Barlow, but I don't think it shone through consistently enough. But he's a nice guy, and I do think there was a player in there. we just didn't unlock it enough, and it could have been change of formation, it could have been individual performance, could have been completely different reasons. Same with Deji Sotona. The switch in formations constantly when we were struggling for bodies, struggling for players available. Then when we finally got the bodies available, got the January window sorted, he didn't have a place in the squad, and that's why he went out on loan, and that's why I don't think we need him anymore. But you know what? Fair play to the manager, because he brought him in after that trial period this time last year, looked good during the trial period, brought him in, switches, his body's available, something, some way, some factors made sure it didn't work out. And what's he done? He's transfer listed him. He's not given him another chance. He's transfer listed him, and he's brought in better, in my opinion, better. So that's an elite manager, someone who can upgrade the standards of the squad from the previous campaign. That's how you progress. That's a process. That's a project. Someone who can progress the squad better from what it was left as the previous campaign. Going from 21st to 5th in the space of a couple of months. Then you bring the squad in further. You bring in further investment. You spend more money. You bring someone like Billy Sharp into the mix. He's got the leadership off the pitch, the experience on and off the pitch. Someone who can provide a voice to the younger players to back up Ironside, back up George, and be competitive with George Miller as well. Then you've got the likes of Sabara, who's been in 2 finals. Yes, he's lost them both, but I'll tell you something now. He's got a point to prove. Jordan Gibson. I think the Bradford fans will hate it, but the Donny fans will love it. Sorry, Bradford fans. But there's players in there that have got plenty of potential and plenty of experience. There's a really good balance about the side this season. And that's one thing that I think we lacked in a couple of areas, and that was balance, especially when the bodies weren't available in the first half of the campaign. So this is a process, this is a project that's actually going to lead to success. So Deji Sotona, don't get me wrong, there's a good player in there somewhere, there's a great player in there somewhere. I think it's Eastleigh's turn to try and unlock that. We just couldn't do it. So best of luck, Deji. Really hope you succeed over at the Silver Lake Stadium. But for that, guys, thank you very, very much for watching this video. Make sure you do like, comment, subscribe. And for now, stay tuned, because tomorrow it's fixture release day, which means we're going to have plenty of content. We're going to have the Carabao Cup draw. We're going to have the league fixture with all the graphics ready. We're also going to have the trophy draw for the Bristol Street Motors Trophy on the Thursday. So we've got 2 big, big days of videos. It's all going down. Thank you very much. I am the CHALL. Ta-ra for now. That's full time. Mean that badge to you.